say on the camera there?
41 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
And then this is an hour. Okay?
Grab those, put the cookies in front of the fucking sponsor.
Yeah, grab that.
All right, welcome to On the Cock. We're here too. So you want to start with groups?
Sure.
And then if you want to, just be like, okay, now, you know, why don't we talk about whatever? Then just take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel.
And over the dog.
I will. And tournament starts on which day?
Right. So pre-game, baby.
Turkey, Italy.
So is Italy hosting?
They're all
Or all
Europe.
Europe?
All across Europe.
Yeah, it's all across Europe. So I think they're playing in Rome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olympic Cup. All right. And give me a countdown.
3.
What's up, guys? Welcome to On the Block. Joe Fafari, Tino Mongelli, Dan Salvatore. What we're going to do today is talk about the Euro Cup 2020, which is taking place in 2021. And we're going to start off with Group A. So Turkey's taking on Italy in the first game, which is going to be on Friday. They're playing in Rome at Olimpico Stadium. How do you guys think that this game's going to turn out, and who do you like in this group? So in this group's going to be Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland.
I mean, like, again, not even a biased opinion, but Italy should take it. They are a team to be reckoned with, and I think that a lot of people are going to discredit them in the tournament just because of the new style Italy represents. It's just we're so used to the defensive Italy. So obviously, I want to take Italy in that game, but you can't count out Turkey. They do have some talented players on the team. But again, the Euros always has some surprises, right? You always see the best players in Europe, so it's always good to watch the opening game.
Dan?
I have to go with Italy. Not for obvious reasons. They have by far the best team in the group. They actually have probably the top 5 teams in the tournament. For me, they have the best coach in the tournament as well. Mancini's won titles all over the place. They probably have the top 2 or 3 midfields in the entire tournament as well. I would take them in the game against Turkey. I would probably say 2-0 or 3-1 victory. But as Tino mentioned, Turkey's actually, if you're watching the World Cup qualifiers, they've been great, beating a lot of good teams by high margins. For me, they finished in second place because they're better than Switzerland, an aging Switzerland team, and a Welsh team that's, I would say, older and overachieved over the years. I probably see them last. So for me, it'd be Italy winning the group, and then Turkey coming in second place, and then between the two, you can throw it up. I would say maybe Switzerland third, and Wales last.
Yeah, I have to agree. Wales is, one of those teams that they had their chance in the 2016 Euro, where they did make a push. Again, aging team, Ramsey, Gareth Bale. Yeah, so I think so too. I'd like Turkey second and Italy first.
I don't know. Like when you said that Italy has one of the top midfields, for sure. But I don't know. I think that they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win the group as well. When you guys are talking about just the style of play, and I think that a reason why people are kind of sleeping on Italy is because they're not bringing the usual vets that they bring in. There's a influx of youth and all these players. I think this is going to be, and I talked to a friend about this, Zane Bastoni. I think it's going to be his coming out party. I think he's going to be one of the best defenders in the world.
And I think
I don't think he's going to start.
That's the Juventino bias over
gonna-
there.
We knew it was coming.
I
It's coming
don't
there.
I don't think he's going to start. And I don't know what to tell you. You got.
It's hard to say. I agree. It's hard to say.
You can't. When you're at a tournament and you have literally to win every single game, you're gonna go with whatever is most formidable and whoever's most experienced and most cohesion possibly can. Bastoni has barely played with Bonucci or Chiellini. Who else is there? Cherby, and even the guys on the other sides. Chiellini and Bonucci have done it all. And I can't remember who the other center back is.
The only thing is we've seen at the tournament before, even back in the day with Mesta, right? There's always injuries that happen.
Yes.
And with all these guys you're talking about, all the old guys, who knows? Could be a quick injury and someone steps up.
Yeah.
Yes,
But a little bit
But
unlikely.
you can't compare a Bastoni or he's had one good season to a guy like who came in for Nesta? It was Materazzi.
Yeah.
Materazzi was
And was a big player in that
yeah,
tournament.
exactly. But he's already a guy that's already starting at Inter. He's got lots of experience. So, barring any injuries, you're going to see I think the Chiellini, Bonucci, or Cervi. So those are the three that have been playing for Mancini. It'll probably be the last tournament, to be honest with you. For sure. But it's not the time to be starting the younger kids in a tournament like that. So.
Okay. Well, I guess you guys want to move on to the next group then?
Yeah,
Any last words?
I gotta be honest with you. I don't even think we should talk about Group B because this is gonna be the sleepiest group. I think it's gonna be a boring group. I think that the teams in that group are gonna be.
Well, Belgium obviously expected to win.
Yes.
Who do you have finishing second?
I gotta have to go with Russia because again, they're never in the equation. You do have Denmark, but they're not a well-rounded team. Yes, they do qualify well. They play well in the qualifiers, but Russia, I don't know. There's just something about being Russian that they always just push and push and push, and they always have the goal to win. So I'm gonna have to say Belgium and Russia. Russia number 2.
I'm going to go obviously Belgium number 1, obvious reasons. They're probably they're the best ranked team in the world right now. And I don't like the rankings anyways, but let's be honest, they have some of the best talent.
Well, some of the best top end talent.
They're by far like Kevin De Bruyne's probably second year in a row won English Player of the Season, English Premier League Player of the Season.
And to add, if City would have won the Champions League, he would have won. It would have been Kevin De Bruyne or Ballon d'Or for sure. Yeah.
Carrasco, they're destined to finish in first place.
Yeah.
Second place, I'm not gonna go with. I'm not gonna take Russia. I'm gonna take Denmark. You have Christian Eriksen. You have a bunch of guys. You have the guy Martin Odegaard as well. He's fantastic.
Odegaard's been playing way well in Spain
Yeah.
since he's been there.
No, Martin Odegaard. He's been playing on loan at Arsenal recently. He had a fantastic year. They're also ranked top 10 in the world right now. So, and I'm gonna put Russia last. The team is old for the most part with a few young guys, and I'll throw Finland in number 3 because they're still wild.
You never discount Mother Russia.
Fair enough.
Do you think that either of these teams, whoever finishes second, has a chance to advance in the next round, or do you think that they'd be lucky?
Yeah, Belgium for sure.
Belgium, I think Belgium is semifinals, minimum semifinals.
Yeah, they and
I would say that this is probably I don't know. It's one of the
Weaker groups?
yes and no. I think it's balanced. I don't see anything besides nothing stands out besides Belgium. Belgium should win that
Yeah.
once.
I think if Belgium is going to win something with the team that they
Yes.
have currently, this is the year to do it. Other than that, you got Eden Hazard didn't really have such a great season. Maybe he can do something I know him and his brother will be there. But if they're going to do something and they're going to win something, they're put a trophy in the case. It has to be this year.
I wouldn't say that because they also
Next year, World Cup is probably their last one, right?
Well,
Yeah, I
the
guess
World Cup's
so.
their last
But I
opportunity.
think it's just a little bit more competition on that end.
But they're gonna have. This is gonna be the year they have the most pressure on them.
Yeah.
Okay, because they are the favorites to win the. I think they're actually the favorites to win the tournament.
Well, just saying here, they're 10 out of 10 wins, 40 goals scored, and just 3 conceded.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
And now Axel Witzel's coming off an Achilles tear. I'm not sure if he's actually going to play in this tournament. Have you guys heard anything?
No, but they're stacked. They have so many guys. They have so many guys with Yuri Tielemans. They have so many.
Yeah, they have a lot of replacement for him for sure. Tielemans from Leicester City's had a phenomenal season with them. Placing in Champions League, big part of that Leicester City team. So it's gonna be fun to watch it for sure.
Okay, we'll move on to Group C. So this group's going to have Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia. North Macedonia probably the worst team in this tournament. But who do you guys have then advancing in the 1 or 2 spots?
Well, Dean's gonna pick Austria because he can give you. If you want to ask him why, he can private web message you. Right?
Yeah.
Little inside joke. Little inside joke. You will catch it. But I don't know, Dean. You can go first.
To be honest with you, I think this is actually the worst group in the entire tournament.
But the toughest to pick probably too, because it's
I would go with that as well. Now, historically speaking, your people are going to go straight to the Netherlands. They're going to pick this straight to the Netherlands. However, it's been shown that recently they've been very poor, not making tournaments or being knocked out of certain things. However, based on the group that they were given, I think they're going to come out here with maybe not maximum 9 points. They might draw here or there. I don't see them losing. first. Macedonia. I'm gonna say they're gonna go fourth.
They probably
they
won't
get
win a
any
game. I don't
goals?
think they're going to win a
And
game.
you know what?
yeah.
They
Do
do
they
have
win-
some,
do
they
they
have some good
score?
players. Yeah, they have the Elmas from.
They're
Napoli.
bringing in Gordon Panda.
They've
We've
Gordon
been playing
Panda.
there for since
40
Yes.
something.
since he.
But they have decent midfield, and to be honest, if they're at the tournament and they beat us some teams, there's some teams that are not at the tournament this year. That would pretty
Yeah.
good overall through our history. But for me, second place is going to be a toss-up between Ukraine and Austria, and I'm not particularly. Maybe more leaning towards Austrian, not because you think I'm Austrian, but I just think that with David Alaba and some of the guys that they do have on the team, I think that they can get the better of Ukraine. I don't know. I can't see Ukraine. I can't see the kind of players that they have.
They do have that talented player, Mbolo.
Well, I think he's gonna be maybe if he's gonna like make a statement in the world. This is the stage to do it.
But I agree with the Netherlands showing up first. Again,
A refurbished team, just like Italy. You know, a lot of the old guys they're not there anymore. So
And
a
they
lot
didn't
of
make the last Euro.
They didn't, so they have to obviously make a statement, just like Italy. And I think I'm gonna go with Ukraine, and I think it's only based on one player, and I wasn't actually enjoyed watching him this year with Atalanta, which is Malinowski. Great player, great central attacker, and he's just so much fun to watch. I don't think he's gonna have the opportunity that he has with Atalanta and the players that he plays with. This is gonna be nice to see. So I think I'm gonna go with Ukraine second, just because it's another sleepy group, and I think it'll be games, and I think the favorites will just proceed.
I'm going to drop a bomb on you guys. I don't think Netherlands going to advance in this group.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Ukraine first and Austria second.
Well, wait a minute here. Also, some
The
of
Orca
Some
will
third
have
place
spoken.
teams can
go
advance.
through.
Um,
If we're going to do top two, that's
So based on the points, I don't know if the third seed will advance. We'll leave that to a future date. But like I said, I'm gonna go Ukraine first because I think that they've looked good recently, and I don't know. I just have a feeling, and then I think Austria is also gonna get through. Alaba's been one of my favorite players. They've always been a pretty solid team. And the Netherlands, I just don't see. They don't have too much depth. I know they have a lot of young guys, but I don't see too much star power. Anybody's gonna take over. I know Memphis is still there, and he's
Memphis is there, yeah.
They got Malin.
They don't.
And,
They don't have the same type of players, but defense-wise, I don't think Virgil van Dijk's gonna be there. But if the Ligt get injured, that's another thing that will be good. However, they do have the fullbacks. They do have Wijnaldum in midfield and then a bunch of other guys.
Dean is failing to mention the other defender who is also an Inter.
De Vrij.
De Vrij.
That's another
So
guy. There you
he's
go.
also another defender that can
There
play
you go.
well with the Ligt, and I think
There you go.
they're gonna be a hard one to pierce through. But again, another sleepy group.
I just think, like I said, scoring for them is probably going to be a problem. So I think that they might draw too many games and just not end up finishing. We'll move on to D, which is one of the better groups. England, Croatia, Scotland, and the Czechs.
Okay, so before I even give you my two, I think the fact that you're going to see England and Scotland playing in an actual finals
that's great.
is really cool.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you've seen that, so just that fact is going to be crazy just for the United Kingdom
agree.
and having that. My picks obviously they're very obvious. England number one. I think if you're gonna ask me, Tino, who's your top three teams, I think I've told you one of them, which is Belgium. The other one is gonna be England for sure. If you've seen their players domestically, if you've seen their players that have been playing like Foden and Mount and Harry Kane, Alexander Arnold. If you watch them play this year, they're all been having sensational years. They're gonna be great. Croatia's gonna give them a hard time. That's my number two. That's coming out of the group because again, I feel like Croatia is your, some of the best midfielders come from Croatia, and I think that's gonna be really cool to watch their system play against an ultra attacking England, and then the other two teams. I'm just gonna say don't stand a chance. So those are my.
So, England is actually my pick for Colton.
I like that pick.
I've said that from the beginning. Okay, I think are they going to win the group? I can see them actually coming out of the group second. Reason being, Scotland is going to give them one hell of a game. Scotland's going to give them 150%.
It's going to be like a men's league game, dirty.
It's going to be dirty, and they're going to go. And that will actually set the tone for England. That's going to be their toughest game, is because if that's the first game, which I'm not 100% sure if it is. However, if that's the first game and they lose, if they then have to go and play Croatia
And they're
after-
trying to get points.
and
after
trying to
that.
get points,
And you know what's crazy?
you're in big trouble.
Side to add on to that, a lot of these Scottish players play with the English players in the
Yes.
Premier League, so they all know each other too. And when you're playing for your nation, and obviously you know the history between Scotland and England,
Correct.
it's gonna be crazy to see. So it's gonna be
So,
great game, great game to watch.
Based on England has probably the deepest squad, and I am not a huge fan of the coach. I've never been a fan of the.
Southgate.
Yeah, I don't think he's a great manager. I think he's good. However, the quality of players that they have, the young guys, these guys can play. This is not like the Duncan Chase, old England, cross the ball, fear crouch, hope for a miracle, let's go England. This is a football.
It's a
team.
well put together team.
Yeah,
a football
this is
team.
don't fall asleep
Yes.
while defending. They'll
You-
they'll they'll,
like,
they'll
It's
teach
almost
you.
like a Spanish team from like the late 2000s.
I wouldn't give them that much credit, but the young guys. The thing is like their top guys are in their prime, and even their guys that are U21 levels and a little bit are starters.
Yeah.
You know, and to have like Trent Alexander Arnold, he barely made the cut for the national team, which is crazy considering last year he was probably fullback. He was the best fullback in the world.
Yeah.
So then now they have Ben Chilwell, they have Trippier, they have Alexander
Kyle
Arnold,
Walker.
Kyle Walker.
The Arsenal fullback too, the young one.
Yeah, and he played two center back. Maybe they're not the greatest. Maguire, Stones, they're not amazing. Okay, but then you have Henderson, Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane. Like the list goes on and on and on. So for me, they're the team to win that group. However, again, that game against Scotland for me is gonna be a big one.
And did they call up Bellinger from Dortmund too?
I don't know if he's starting, but they
But
called him.
he's on the bench too, and he's been
Bellingham, right?
yeah.
And then you have Jack Grealish, Madison, the guy from Leicester City. They're stacked. They're friggin'
Great.
stacked.
Yeah.
They're friggin'
Yeah,
stacked.
they'll-
In
And
terms of talent, it could be like I know it's early in 4 or 8
Oh,
years when these
Mason
guys' careers are
Mount.
over. Mason Mount, but like, well, we might look back at this team and think that this might be England's best top to bottom team. I think.
100%.
I think it's
Even
most
more than
ex-
those Lampard,
Can I be
Gerrard.
honest with you? I think it's the most exciting team.
No, I
for
think
sure.
this is
Most
the
exciting
best,
England
This
team
is
I've
the
ever
best technical English team
Ever.
Yeah.
ever.
Even Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, you can like you get rid of Jordan Henderson. Don't even put him down. That's just for you have Mason Mount, Phil Foden. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of his, but just
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, like
Marcus Rashford, Raheem
Jadon
Sterling.
Sancho.
Like it doesn't get any
Marcus
better than that. Marcus Rashford.
They have
and
too much
Raheem
talent
Sterling.
for the
Like,
first time
I don't
ever,
even
right?
know with Southgate who he's gonna field,
Yeah,
but
and
he's
these
got
guys were
firepower.
missing.
Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
insane.
Madison, Grealish. There's so many
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
They're
Madison.
all young and they're
Grealish.
great.
Grealish had a great season this year, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So and then for second place, I mean you could put Croatia, but again, like it depends on what Scotland does with England. Croatia's really old as well. Like
They are like
they're-
Mandzukic 36,
he's-
Modric 35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, and then Rakitic also 34. Like
But you want to know something? You don't need to run a lot when you're good with the ball the way they are.
I understand.
You
that.
can
I
play it.
get
You
that.
can place the ball. You just need a guy up front like Ribic, who's again had a fantastic year, a great year with Milan. But you just got to get in the ball, and that's the way
Yeah.
they play. Put the ball on your feet, and then
I'd
one
say
shot.
I'd say they probably still have enough to finish second because if you watch the Czech Republic this week against Italy, they just got torn to shreds. Now, is that a testament to how good Italy is, or is it a testament to how bad the Czech Republic?
I think
are?
it's a bit of both.
It could probably be a bit of both. It could be a little bit of luck. They do have some good players, the Czechs. I could see them potentially finishing in, maybe finishing second, third for sure, But I'm gonna go with Croatia second. Well, I wouldn't be shocked if Croatia finished first. It's Italy, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked because even like Croatia,
Kovacic starting, I assume.
you have Kovacic, Pasalic, Brozovic,
Perisic.
Pretty much all the
yeah. So I'm gonna go with them second. I'm gonna go
There's a
with them
lot
second.
of talent here, but it's just
Absolutely.
are they
Milan,
too
Bado.
old, right? Like
Yes, with the main guys, if you vote like a striker, but he's not.
Lovren's still there at center back.
Lovren's still in. They have another guy.
Their weakest game is defense, and I think their midfield
But they're not-
is
they don't lose the ball.
great. Yeah, they don't need
They
to
don't lose the
defend
ball.
because they're
And
gonna
with-
keep the possession.
With Milanista legend Rebic at the front,
Again,
the sky's the limit.
he's a great player. There's actually, and I'm not sure if he's Croatian, the youngster that's playing up good at Vasilic.
No,
Serbian?
Slovenian.
Vlahovic. He's Serbian.
He's Serbian. But anyways,
He's great too.
any of the itches this year had a really good season.
So
I'm gonna take England to finish first. To be on, we'll get to like the deep things a little bit later. But we went through the roster, way too much talent.
Yeah.
Alexander, like you said, Chilwell, and then we went through Maguire. I know he wasn't even playing for Man U towards the end of the year. He was getting scratched there. But Stones I wasn't a Stones fan, but he's come around more recently with City.
Yes, he's a good, but he's being carried. By
And he's gotta work.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also has to work under Pep Guardiola, or else you're not going to
But
make
you
the
know
cut.
what?
You'll be sold.
Also, Emmerich Laporte he got hurt,
Yeah,
and that's why John Stones came in. John Stones got found out at the Champions League final.
Exposed.
He got found out and exposed. He is a fraud. I think he's a terrible player.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's not great, but he just needs to be average, I think. Biggest player for England, I think.
Harry
Key to their
Kane.
success.
Harry
Kane, yeah, he's going to need to
he's
score.
the head guy.
I'm going to say Marcus Rashford.
Rashford.
Rashford, yeah.
Harry
I'm going to
Kane.
say it's him because I've watched
Kane's
his,
a captain.
but I watched Rashford this year, and I love his edge. I love his competitive spirit. I love what he does for Manchester United. He's not like, I don't know, in England, like obviously in our bias or circle of friends, he doesn't get talked about enough. And I think he's going to be big. Yes, Harry Kane, yeah, obviously a phenomenal player, great goal scorer, probably one of the best goal scorers in the tournament for sure. You're going to see him at the top of the scoring races, of the scoring race of this the Euro. But yeah, just a great team.
For me, the key, I know that scoring is going to be a big thing, but based on how Chelsea finished and the season he had, Mason Mount for me is going to be the guy.
Yeah,
I think that he's going to
I
have a
don't know
big
if he'll
tournament.
start. I don't know if he'll start.
he's got to
Jordan
be
Henderson
lucky,
will be
right?
there for sure. It depends on the formation.
I don't think you can not start Mason Mount at this. If he does it, who knows? But
I think it's
just
going to be, if you ask me, I think it's going to be Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling, and then Harry Kane in the front.
at the front. And then
At the
in
front.
mid,
Yeah.
No, how do you leave out Jadon Sancho?
you can only play so many guys.
I think
right?
he's gonna play. He's gonna play Raheem Sterling and
Well,
Rashford.
you have
'cause
Madison.
they're-
You have there's tons of guys.
Yeah, we'll
Tons of
see.
guys.
They're
Hey,
gonna
what-
come in as
Southgate,
substitute.
who are you starting, man?
We need to know. So I'll go with England first. And then with Croatia and Czech, Croatia's the older team, Czech's the younger one. I think Scotland, who knows, man? Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Croatia finishes
If
third,
they get
third
the
or
win
fourth.
on England, they have a good chance of finishing second. for
Yeah,
sure.
there's definitely sleeper potential there. But I'll go England first, and then I'm going to take the Czech second. I just think maybe the young legs there, they might be able to pull that out. Let's go on to Group E. Another decent group. Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Spain, not the powerhouse that we're used to. No Madrid players, no Barcelona players.
No, they still have some.
A lot of movement in players, and obviously in the team itself. I mean, Spain doesn't play the
Tiki-taka.
tiki-taka, but they do have a lot of talent. I don't think they're going to finish first in that group. I think,
Really?
yeah. The only reason why I think they're going to start slow, I think they're going to tie their first game. I just maybe they haven't been really looked at, or. But who else do we have in that group? That's. I just don't feel like they're going to finish
Sweden,
on top.
Slovakia, Poland.
Call me crazy, but I've always
Oh, you Polish, you mean?
call me Polish, but I think Poland's gonna finish first in that group. That's gonna be my dark horse pick for this, and I think Poland's gonna surprise a lot of people. I mean, Milik, I think they.
Well, he's been rested all year. Pretty
He
much,
has been rested, so look, if he's gonna want to find a team after this and be playing, he's gonna have to show something. And you got Lewandowski again, one of the best goal scorers in the world. He's gonna put up a tally sheet too. So I have Poland coming first and Spain coming second because of ties. Sorry.
I'm gonna go opposite of that. I definitely think Spain is gonna win the group, 100%. Sweden has some good young players. Kulusevski. I don't think Zlatan's gonna be there though. No.
I thought he.
I'm not sure that he's gonna be there.
It all depends. I mean, it's next week, so I don't think
Yeah.
He's gonna be.
But they have all these-
Forsberg
he's
and
gonna be
Larson
back.
there in the
Yeah,
midfield,
they have
and
Emil
Isak and
Forsberg,
Kulusevski.
Ekdals, whatever. Kulusevski, a good player, did not have a good year for Juve. Did not, as much as I like him.
Nilsson.
Lindelof is the
Center back. Yeah.
I mean, you have Poland has probably the best striker in the world, and the guy should win the Ballon d'Or this year. Like by far, he should win the Ballon d'Or. Around him, they actually have some good pieces. I don't think they're gonna go far. I don't think they go far. I think they can come second in the group. Slovakia, again, young players, nobody that kind of sticks out. I think they have a few guys.
Kuchka's there.
Kuchka's there, yeah.
Milo needs to legend
Yeah.
again once again.
Yeah, he's supposed to be something huge. And then the other group, I mean, the other team was.
You know who they?
Sweden.
You know who they
Poland.
called up too for Slovakia?
Hamsik?
Hamsik.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Is he playing in China?
Yeah, I think he's playing in, somewhere else, but he's playing for Slovakia too, which would be pretty cool
But you know what?
to see him.
Poland at the last World Cup was horrible. They didn't make it out of the group stage.
They were very disappointing. I
Very
don't even remember if
disappointing.
they won the game.
Now, saying that, I don't think they'll let that happen again. I think this is probably the tightest group, personally, because I don't think there's a huge gap between Spain and
Group
Ireland.
F, which we'll get to. I think that's probably one of them.
Yes, but I think out of that, yes, that's tight too. I can say that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be tight. I think it's the most balanced. I think it's personally the most balanced because I don't think Spain is that much of a notch ahead of Sweden or the other teams. They definitely are, but not that much. I'm gonna go Spain first, and then Poland second. And then the other two are toss up. Maybe Sweden third, Slovakia last.
I think I'm gonna take Sweden to surprise and win this group. I'll go Sweden to take the group, and I'll probably have to go Spain second. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they finish third in advance. They're not the same team in Poland third.
I agree with you. I think they're gonna have those first two games. They're gonna start off real slow. Probably maybe score one goal, 1-1, and then
Because Morata's there, and he hasn't obviously been that good this year, right?
he's not. He doesn't never impress me. Sorry,
Ferran Torres.
Morata's never been a guy where I'd be like,
Ferran Torres is a
ooh,
great
wow, like he's awesome. No, it just doesn't really impress me. He can be on and off. He can score some golazos, but then it's like, how do you stay consistent?
He's always been better as a sub too.
Yeah.
And then
It's not consistent at all.
He must
Thiago's there, who's always been one of my favorite players.
Thiago.
But
Yeah.
Busquets as well.
Busquets is no, he actually has COVID.
So he did play in the last game, so
Yes.
he has COVID.
But the center backs, they actually.
Busquets still there, and then Laporte and Torres.
So Laporte actually just joined the Spanish team.
He
He
was
was the French team.
Yeah. He capped.
crazy.
Yeah, capped on Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, they still have enough to get to. Spain,
Well, they definitely have enough to get through,
Rodrigo in the midfield too. Without they have so many.
I
guys.
also
But there's
hate
so many
Sergio Busquets. I hate him with a passion.
No, he's the best.
I hate him.
Sergio
I
Busquets-
They
hate
still
the
have
way
one
he
of the
plays.
best goalies in the tourney.
Who?
De Gea.
He has been real. For Spain, he's different.
That's
Manchester
what
United
I'm.
sucks.
Yeah. Well, just
He
We
this
can-
doesn't care.
We'll talk about the goalies later, but I don't think De Gea is, you know,
what he used to be,
what he used to be or what he could have been.
I don't think he cares. He's won everything.
and he's rich or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go on to the last group. So this is the best group for sure. France,
Group of-
Germany,
group of
Hungary, and Portugal.
This is not a group of them. This is a disgrace. It's a disgrace to have all these teams in the same group. It's a disgrace.
Crappy draw, eh?
It's not a crappy job. How the hell do you put? These are the last three winners of all the tournaments.
I disagree. It's nice. We're gonna get to see them play.
Yeah,
anyways,
as a
so-
neutral, it's great. As
Yeah.
The defending champs, Portugal here.
If
finished
you're-
a 3 seed in their group last time to advance, right?
To all
do it
my
again.
Portuguese fans out there, I feel sorry for you, but you also
Why?
have a great chance too.
I think you'll do well.
Because if you're gonna ask me who's gonna come out of this group, actually, the winner of the tournament of my pick is actually in this group, and it's France for me. France is gonna win the tournament, and coming second is really hard to choose. But I do think Portugal will overcome, and I think they will finish second in the group, and they will get the better of Germany, and they'll tie with France, and they'll get that second spot for sure.
I'm gonna go with France winning the group. I think they're just unbelievably strong. They by far have. If we were talking about England before, I correct you. France is
Really?
the best team in the tournament.
France to me in the midfield, they're just I don't know.
No,
I don't
they're
think
so
they're as
All,
stacked.
I think all around they're just
They're
great.
stacked.
Like they have
N'Golo Kante.
Okay, oh for sure. Conte, yes.
Yeah.
Pogba's not who he used to be.
Pogba for France is a different story.
Rabiot.
Rabiot
no.
for France is a different story. Tolisso. They have so many guys. Kamavinga.
even
They are
even
stacked.
even Griezmann for France
Even
is a
Griezmann
different
for-
story.
yeah, it's a different-
And Giroud, he plays.
Momo Sissoko. Do you know how many
He's gonna
guys? Do
play
you know how many guys they have on France? And they have Benzema back.
And that might push them over the edge, and that's been my guy for a long time.
Yeah.
I love having Benzema there.
Mbappe,
but
Griezmann, and Benzema.
He should start. But Benzema should.
Unbelievable.
Benzema has to start because he's a natural born goal
Yeah,
scorer.
and
And
really-
you've
Oh.
seen it even after Ronaldo's left.
Arsene Wenger, the guy who plays on Lyon, he's in center
Yeah.
mid too.
Yeah.
But there's so many guys.
Yeah.
Dembele. Longley,
Thuram.
Marcus Thuram.
Since
He
they
needs
won,
some space.
since they won
What's his name? That's the new Milan goalie. Kingsley Coleman. Look how many players they have.
They're stacked.
They're
But
stacked.
compared to England, England are the team that has the young guys coming up,
These
and
guys
these are
are
the
just-
established guys.
Yeah, but these guys are still young too. Look how young. Pogba's 27.
Pogba,
He's his prime.
Mbappe, yes.
Yeah.
Griezmann's getting up there. Benzema's up there.
But
Varane. Look at their fullbacks.
I think
Hen-
the,
Hernandez, Pavard.
And they didn't even
They're
bring.
incredible.
You know how many
They're
cuts?
incredible.
You know how many cuts France made too? Like they have
They
even
can have a
guys back
second
home
team. Yeah.
that they didn't call up.
Oh,
Like
easily.
they didn't even call Theo Hernandez.
They didn't call him up to. Yeah, they didn't call him up. To
They didn't call him up, and he's like one of the right for me. Not
He's
being
got
biased
Lucas.
as a Milan.
because they have Lucas.
One of the best. Yeah. So, anyways, I think France 1, Portugal 2.
I'm gonna go France 1. I'm actually gonna go with Portugal 2 as well. This is I think Joachim Löw's last tournament for Germany. Bayern. Okay,
So they
Bayern has been great this year, and most of the German, a lot of the German players are on Bayern. So I'm not gonna. You can never really count out the Germans. However, they got found out by PSG. They got exposed by PSG.
nobody saw that coming.
You could see the cracks for them. You could see the cracks for them. Because beating that Barcelona team last year, 8-2, wherever it was that's like the year where your Barcelona beat PSG 6-0, or whatever it was to get to the Champions League. Then the next round they lost you guys 3-0. They got spanked off the field. Now, all the old guard is completely gone. Completely. Minus Thomas Müller, who's a champ.
Look, they're playing a 5-4-1.
So they're playing with the fullbacks.
They always play with the lone
They
striker
play
there.
Narvi, and then they have.
They needed Mueller. And they
Yes,
haven't been
yes.
scoring. Yeah.
So we have Joshua Kimmich is a sick player. His defense is nothing spectacular. Like it's
Ginter,
yeah, but he
Hummels,
doesn't even
older.
start. It'll be Hummels and maybe what's his name, the guy from the guy who plays for Chelsea, Rudiger. Right? And he'll probably start. The rest of the guys, Narvi. He
How
had a
about
great
Gondo?
season last year. Gondohan.
Gondowan had a
should
great season with
Gondowan
City
should
too,
start.
and he's gonna play in
start.
the
Yes,
midfield,
he should
right?
start.
Yeah. I don't know. Germany again. He could.
but
they
their
could
wingers,
surprise.
Sane and Gnabry, is still incredible. I know that they
Yes.
like. I know if you're going back a year, they probably were in better form, but still, those are still young guys with
Yeah.
speed.
That's
That can finish.
Sane.
Narvi doesn't really do it. He doesn't do it. He did it last year.
Last year he did. This year
Last
wasn't the best
This
year.
year wasn't the best year. But
Guys come to life in the tournament.
yes, and there's always gonna be that one guy like the James Rodriguez of the world that comes out and
Exactly.
end up on some huge team.
They wear their flag and they go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised. Like you guys are both convinced Germany can't even finish second.
I
I don't wanna
just
say that.
it's crazy because it's I have to pick one of the three.
Yeah, you can't-
And it's hard to leave Germany out because, but I think Portugal has a lot of firepower
Yes.
up front. They have probably the most
One of the
creative
deepest, yeah.
one of the most creative midfields
Yeah.
in the tournament. Which Bernardo Silva and
They got the
Bruno
best defender in the world.
Fernandez is
Renato
sensational.
Sanchez is
They-
there.
they
so-
had-
And Diogo Jota, who's
Yeah.
also a great player.
they also
And,
they have the
guys,
best, thing in the world.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Cristiano.
The best player ever to play the game. So, again, we need to also say we have to put those calculations.
Andre Silva coming off the they have depth.
And
Yeah.
again,
and
you
they have,
know,
they have probably some of the
Couldn't
best.
do it
They have
at
the best
Milan,
fullbacks in the actual tournament, and they have the best center back in the world.
they don't have
Ruben
enough.
Neves.
I think
No,
the problem is
no,
they don't have
Ruben
enough guys named Silva on their team. That's the problem, maybe.
I think
Uh,
that's what the issue is.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. That's the only issue. They don't have enough
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Silvas.
France first. They have
Yeah.
France is
Bruno Fernandez to me, but might be the
Fantastic.
best player. I think that he might
He's
win
one
player of the
up.
tournament.
I think he's
Yeah.
like
You think he's the
a
best
mid-
player at the tournament?
No.
I'm just saying. I'm predicting that I think he might have the best. Tournament.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk about players now, I think obviously we'll all have to look at the players. That teams obviously has holes, but the most exciting and I think the best player of the tournament is Mbappe. You're gonna watch Mbappe play. He plays with intensity. He plays with speed. He plays with charisma. He plays with everything, and he's just a joy to watch, right? And you gotta also keep in mind because Haaland is not playing in the tournament. Mbappe and Haaland are the two guys to step forward after Messi and Ronaldo. So Mbappe is the guy to watch. He's my guy. He's going to be player of the tournament if France wins.
He's had some injury problems too. I know he missed some Champions League games, so we'll see
Yeah.
if durability, especially when you're running that fast. I like Portugal. I hate to say it as an Italian, but I like their team a lot. Like you said, Neves probably the
You're
best
going
center
to
back
piss
in
off
the
all
world.
the Portuguese that
Yeah,
are
but
watching
I'm giving
this.
them
Yeah,
credit.
yeah.
I'm giving them credit though.
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz,
Yeah,
sorry. So
great-
he's not even here.
great
But
center.
Neves is there listed. So
Yeah.
with Diaz and Fernandez, I don't know if there's a team that has more top-notch level at the center back and the like center
France.
mid position. But
France.
who would you say what center back is playing better than Diaz right now?
No, he's
That's
by
what I
far-
mean.
He's
In
by far the
form,
best in the world.
in form, I
Yes.
think they have the best duo of center back and midfielder.
Okay.
And then even with Ronaldo too, right? Like you could tell that he was saving himself at the end of the season. I know he had some big goals for Juve, but you know that he wants to go with the bang. It's going to be his last Euro.
So who would you say? Okay, above like obviously Ruben Diaz being the best defender, who would you say your favorite player of the tournament would be?
who I think is going to have the best
I-
tournament? or
I-
personal
I think
favorite?
just overall, just forget about goal scoring. Think about who's going to have the best tournament.
I'm gonna. I think France throwing Benzema into the team was huge.
They've missed him for
Huge.
the last 6 or 8 years, whatever it's been,
Yes.
6 years.
That is a wild
So
card.
you
and a
think
half.
Benzema's going to be your guy at the tournament if they win? If they win,
I think he'll have a better tournament
think
than
so.
Mbappe, and that sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
But,
I do too. I do
but I
too.
think he's going to have a better tournament. Best player in the tournament.
You're gonna talk about MVP of the tournament. It's,
Yeah.
I think it's got to go to a midfielder personally. It's gonna go to a midfielder. If I were to choose,
I don't want to, but I want to say, just in terms of form, like I was saying earlier, I think Mason Mount might be my guy because England have him one deep as well.
yeah.
if I'm gonna choose,
If he plays though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing too. So the only way that were to happen
Yeah.
is if Greenwich doesn't or one of those players behind him, Madison, doesn't play, and they put Mason Mount there. Again, that all determines if England doesn't come up on top of the person they switch up the formation.
I don't think there's a better midfielder in form right now.
Yeah, he has some great for Chelsea,
Those two.
but again, still
I,
younger.
If I had to choose between, I'm gonna pick the well-known one and then a dark horse. Yeah, that'll take the tournament by storm. First one, the favorite, is gonna be Kevin De Bruyne because number one, Belgium has a decently easy path, and he's destructive. The guy's unbelievable.
And is he healthy since the
Yeah,
Champions
I
League?
think he'll be healthy. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Second is a dark horse that nobody's really talking about, and he's got a stellar tournament with some big goals. Is Nicolo Barella. Okay, Barella is one of the best midfielders in the world.
Sorry.
He's gonna come up in this tournament if he's gonna prove that he's actually a better player than Verratti. And I love Verratti. He's a great player, but Barella is the guy. He's the guy. that
I
we can
agree
take
with you.
forward.
Being a Milanista, it was hard to watch a guy like Barella play because it's like, I want that guy on my team. He's just that kind of player.
He's so good.
He's fast. He looks, and people are gonna hate me if I say this. He looks like Messi when he dribbles the ball. The ball is a magnet on his foot, and the way he can pass it, the way he can shoot it, it's great, and he's gonna be good. I think if I had a second player to say, I gotta go with, honestly, another biased opinion. I think Gigi Donnarumma is gonna he's gonna shut a couple of doors too. I mean, I'd love to see Italy win, but realistically, we're looking at players on a sheet. It's France for me.
It's hard. You don't know who's going to be in the semis. So eventually, like, your two teams will be in the final. I'll pick my semifinals, and I don't know which one's bigger order. But my semifinals is Belgium,